What does it mean to truly respect someone you love? Let's dive into the core of respect in relationships. You see, respect is not merely about holding someone in high regard or admiring them for their qualities. It's so much more. It's a cornerstone, a foundation upon which healthy and thriving relationships are built. Respect goes beyond mere admiration. It involves understanding, accepting, and valuing the other person for who they truly are. It's about seeing them in their entirety, flaws and all, and still choosing to treat them with kindness and dignity. It's about acknowledging their opinions, listening to their ideas, and validating their feelings. But most importantly, respect is about equality. It's about recognizing your partner's needs, desires, and rights and treating them as your equal. It's about making space for their voice to be heard and their individuality to flourish. Real respect is about treating someone as an equal and acknowledging their needs and desires. Consider the story of Sarah and John, a couple who seemed perfect together. Sarah, an ambitious entrepreneur, and John, a dedicated engineer, were the epitome of a modern power couple. Yet, beneath the surface, their relationship was far from perfect. Sarah had a passion for her work, pouring her heart and soul into her startup. Yet, John, despite his own professional success, struggled to respect Sarah's career choice. He often belittled her efforts, dismissing her startup as a pet project and a hobby. His words, though seemingly harmless, were a subtle form of disrespect, undermining Sarah's achievements and ambitions. As time went on, Sarah began to feel a growing sense of resentment. She felt unvalued, unappreciated, and unheard. She started to question whether John truly respected her, not just as a partner, but also as an individual with her own dreams and aspirations. This constant feeling of being undermined started to strain their relationship, leading to frequent disagreements and a growing sense of dissatisfaction. Despite her attempts to communicate her feelings, John remained dismissive. He failed to recognize his lack of respect as a problem, insisting that he was just being realistic. This lack of empathy only fueled Sarah's resentment, causing a further rift between them. Eventually, Sarah and John's relationship reached a breaking point. The lack of respect had eroded their bond, leading to their decision to part ways. In the end, John's inability to respect Sarah's career choice and her aspirations resulted in the breakdown of their relationship. Sarah and John's story highlights how a lack of respect can lead to feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction. It underlines the importance of mutual respect in a relationship, not just for the person we love, but for their dreams, their ambitions, and their choices. After all, respect is not just about acknowledging someone's worth, but also about valuing their journey and their individuality. Now turn your attention to Emily and Mark, who had a different story. Emily and Mark, who had been together for 5 years, had mastered the art of mutual respect in their relationship. Their story was different from the norm. They didn't just love each other, but they respected each other in a way that strengthened their bond and made their relationship a model for many. Their secret? It was simple. They respected each other's boundaries and personal space. They understood that even though they were a couple, they were still individuals with their own needs, interests, and aspirations. And they respected that. Emily, for instance, loved painting. She would spend hours in her studio, lost in her world of colors and canvases. Mark, on the other hand, was a tech enthusiast. He would spend his free time coding and experimenting with new software. They both had their own separate worlds, and they respected that. They also understood that respect went beyond just personal space. It extended to their communication as well. They both made sure to listen to each other actively, understanding and acknowledging each other's perspectives. They respected each other's opinions, even if they disagreed. They knew that their differences were what made them unique, and they cherished that. Respect for them was not just about grand gestures, it was about the small things. It was about asking before borrowing a book. It was about giving the other person their space when they needed it. It was about acknowledging the other person's achievements. And it was about being there for each other in times of need. Their relationship was not perfect. They had their share of disagreements and arguments. But at the end of the day, they knew that their mutual respect for each other was the glue that held them together. They knew that as long as they had respect, they could overcome any obstacle that came their way. Emily and Mark's tale shows us that mutual respect can strengthen the bond between two people. So, what are the signs of respect in a relationship? It's a question that we've all asked ourselves at one point or another. Let's dive into it, shall we? One of the most fundamental signs of respect in a relationship is active listening. This is more than just hearing the words your partner is saying. It's about showing empathy, understanding, and interest in their thoughts and feelings. It's about giving them your undivided attention, not waiting for your turn to speak, but truly valuing their perspective. Take Emily and Mark for instance. We discussed their tale in the previous scene. When Emily shares her thoughts, Mark doesn't just nod along, he engages, asks questions, and shows genuine interest in what she has to say. That's active listening. It's a sign of respect, a clear signal that he values her input and experiences. Another key sign of respect is acknowledging feelings. This isn't about agreeing with every emotion your partner experiences, but rather recognizing their validity. When Mark acknowledges Emily's feelings, he's not just saying, "I hear you." He's saying, "I see you, I understand that your feelings are real and they matter." It's a powerful form of validation that builds respect and trust. Finally, understanding boundaries is a critical sign of respect. It's about knowing where one person ends and the other begins. It's about recognizing that while you are a partnership, you are also individuals with your own needs, desires, and limits. In Emily and Mark's relationship, they have clear boundaries. They understand and respect each other's space, time, and individuality. They know that respect means honoring these boundaries, not crossing them. These are just a few signs of respect in a relationship. They may seem simple, but they are profound in their impact. Active listening, acknowledging feelings, understanding boundaries. They're all ways that respect manifests in a relationship. They're the building blocks of a strong, healthy, and mutually satisfying partnership. Recognizing these signs can help you assess the level of respect in your relationship. How do you cultivate respect in your relationship? That's a question worth pondering. Respect isn't something that magically appears. It's built, brick by brick, through conscious effort. Let's delve into some strategies that can help build respect in relationships. First, open communication. This is a key element in any respectful relationship. Think back to Sarah and John. They didn't start off with the best communication skills, but they worked on it. They learned to express their thoughts and feelings honestly, without fear of judgment or retaliation. They learned to listen, to really hear what the other person was saying. That's what open communication looks like. It's about being brave enough to be vulnerable, and caring enough to listen. Second, understanding. Understanding isn't about agreeing with everything your partner says or does. It's about seeing things from their perspective. Remember Emily and Mark? They had different ways of showing love, and that caused friction. But when they took the time to understand each other's love languages, they were able to appreciate each other more. Understanding breeds respect. It tells your partner, "I see you, I get you, I respect you." Third, acceptance. Acceptance is about embracing your partner for who they are, warts and all. It's about recognizing their flaws, yet choosing to love them regardless. Sarah accepted John's introverted nature, and Mark accepted Emily's need for words of affirmation. This kind of acceptance fosters deep respect because it says, "I love you, not despite your flaws but because of them." In conclusion, building respect in relationships involves open communication, understanding, and acceptance. It means being patient, being kind, and being willing to put in the work. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's downright hard, but the rewards? They're immeasurable. Building respect takes time and effort, but it's a cornerstone for any successful relationship. Remember, respect isn't just about how you treat your partner, it's about how you treat yourself too, because when you respect yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. Respect, it's more than just a word, isn't it? As we've journeyed through the dynamics of respect in relationships, we've seen its powerful impact. From the story of Sarah and John, we learned that respect is the bedrock of trust and love. In Emily and Mark's tale, we witnessed how respect can foster open communication and understanding. We've also identified the clear signs of respect, such as attentive listening, valuing opinions, and honoring boundaries. These are the building blocks of any healthy relationship. But respect isn't something that just happens. It's a conscious effort, a choice we make every day. The absence of respect can lead to a breakdown of communication, trust, and ultimately the relationship itself. So let's not underestimate the power of respect. It's the fuel that keeps the engine of a relationship running smoothly. Remember, a relationship without respect is like a car without fuel.